it's a slight misquotation. It's not really what I said. Well, I did say it, but I said a lot more. The most important part of what I said that's not in that quotation is that a very good reason to be a musician is to be driven so much by love for the music that you can't really imagine doing something else, which is actually why I'm a musician. I'm not a musician so that I can be famous or so that I can make a lot of money. That doesn't interest me, actually. As long as I've got enough money, I'm quite happy. And I don't need to be famous. It's irrelevant. What is relevant is that I love doing the music. I love preparing it, I love studying it, and I love performing it. I love talking about it. Everything about it is me. If you're that sort of person, then of course you should be a musician. But there are huge numbers of people who become musicians because maybe sometimes because they can't really think of anything else to do, or maybe they think that they can become very famous and rich. And if you enter it for those reasons, no, you should do something else. That's what I really mean. I believe that the explosion of interest in worldwide explosion of interest in classical music that took place in the 20th century, which was not really there before. Before the 20th century, it was very much part of the aristocracy. In the 20th century, it became much more part of the life of ordinary people, which is obviously a very good thing. Why did it happen? And I think the main reason it happened was war, political conflict. First of all, it created a lot of diaspora. And if you're a member of the diaspora and you go and live in another country, you must know this in South America particularly. You bring your culture with you. And you are very passionate about that culture. All the people who fled Europe to South America, or the USA, or anywhere really, they brought their culture with them. So even if they're not musicians, they will want to go to concerts, and they want their children to learn instruments and poetry and art and everything. It's more important to them than it was in their original country. It becomes more important because they left. I don't believe in schools. I don't think there's such a thing. There's no specific British school. There's no Hungarian one. I just don't think it's relevant. You are either good at it or you're not. And if you have a particular attachment to a certain composer from another country, then it may be that you have certain aspects of your personality that are similar to that country. I don't believe I'm typically British. In fact, I know I'm not. The tradition in Britain really is very mixed. It's like a melting pot, in the same way as New York is. Studying in Britain, not just in London, but the whole country, is a bit like that. There are so many people from so many parts of the world that you can't identify a British school of piano playing. It just isn't there. Yes, well, it's an interesting point. It's a very interesting question, a very deep subject. For one thing, even since I was young, the piano has changed. The instrument has changed. So since the late 18th century, it's obviously gigantically different. In theory, it's improved. And I have friends who play authentic instruments and believe very much in doing that. And I always say the same thing, and I've never had the answer yet. I want to take Mozart into a room where there is one of his contemporary pianos from 1790, and a Steinway D, say, or a modern piano of some kind, and ask him to try them and see which one he prefers. And I have an idea he would prefer the modern one, because it's developed. It developed particularly through the 19th century and Chopin and Liszt. They made it develop. Actually, Beethoven did as well before that. They made the instrument change and get bigger and bigger. It's a point of view. I don't know that I'm right, but I do know that this is the instrument that I trained on, and that I'm I produce the better results on than I would if I played an old-fashioned instrument.